I guess just talk a little bit about last game, going on the road to Northern Iowa and taking on a Panther team that's going to be a little bit nasty after losing.
Well, I don't know if they're going to be nasty after losing. I think they're just nasty in general. I'm excited about it. You know, obviously it's our last game of the season, and they're a very, very good football team. Very, very good football team. There's a reason why it's been 8 or 18 years. So we got our hands full. They got a very, I think, hard-nosed, tough offense and defense. Their defensive ends, a very, very good player. I feel so bad when I talk about these kids. Number 7 is a really good football player. And their nose tackle, 98, is a powerful guy. Their linebackers are very stout. Their offensive line is very senior-oriented. Their quarterback, not a great runner, knows what to do with the football, and then they have like 3 running backs. So, and I've been watching their statistics. They play a whole lot better at home than they do on the road. So we're gonna have our hands full. And it's their senior day, I'm sure. And so we just got to prepare and focus and stay grounded on what we're doing.
Coming off of playing number 1 and our number 6 and then number 1, the cream of the crop of the Valley, is there a big drop off to Northern Iowa, or is it just almost the same type of opponent?
I don't think there's a big drop off. No, because they beat South Dakota State. You know, this is a great parity league. This, you know, I said it from day one. This league is such parity. I think there's well, you probably rate our play team from top to bottom. I'd say North Dakota State and South Dakota State, but they beat South Dakota State. So this is a great football conference. You know, they were playing like we were, and then they go out and Youngstown, who's not having a great season, and get knocked off by Youngstown. So a lot of things are left to happen in the last week.
And you were, I asked you yesterday about whether there's no pressure on you guys going up, but you're saying, yeah, there is.
Ask me again.
Well, yeah, well, just talk a little bit about the mindset of the Bears going up there and trying to play spoiler for their hopes of getting to the playoffs.
Well, see, I don't look at it that way, Dan. I don't look at it as pressure, because every game's pressure. You know, you got to prepare for it. There's pressure when you don't prepare and you're not executing. I don't look at spoiler, you know. I learned a long time ago when people say, well, this is a big game for them. Well, it's a big game for us, too. That will catapult us into the off season. Our workouts are going to be a lot happier when we win. Our spring's going to be a lot happier, and it helps us into the next season moving forward. So it's a huge game for us.
Coach, on Saturday after the game, you talked about seeing strides being made within the program, even though we may not be seeing it on the scoreboard. What are some of the things that you're seeing that you're liking as we go throughout the year here?
I think what I really like is, you know, this is the second year with our strength coach. Our team is much stronger than it has been in the past. And we have a lot further to go. Don't misinterpret that, especially as you see some of those linemen we're going up against the last couple of weeks. I see where our kids are preparing. You know, you guys are probably sitting up here and you're watching our kids coming in and out because this is their Monday, this is their day off, and they're up here watching video and studying and preparing. That never happened before. Our work ethic on the football field is much greater. Our attention to detail on the little things is much greater. Now what we have to do as a coaching staff and as players is execute the game plan, put a good game plan together and execute that game plan. So I see great strides in our football program. We're excited about the direction we're going. I want to know, go on record saying I'm disappointed about the last couple of losses, just like the players are too, though. So I see that happening in the walls here of our building.
The offense kind of not being able to generate a lot of points the last couple of games. Obviously, it's the opponent. Is the offense still clicking the way it should be for you, or is there something that needs to be fixed going into this last game?
The thing that needs to be fixed in my mind is, number one, we got to get our run game back in track, and number two, we got to protect the football. If there's anything in our football program that I'm completely devastated about, is we're giving the ball up too much, and we're not protecting the ball enough, and we're not getting the ball enough. And you know, we have a big sign back there. Is it's all about the ball, and that's what this program needs to start adhering to, if anything. That's my hugest. Is that a word, hugest? If it isn't, it is now. My hugest disappointment is we're giving the ball away too much, not just on offense, but also we I think 2 or 3 on special teams, which is unforgivable, and we're not getting the ball enough. That's my hugest disappointment right now.
Coach, you talk about the offense. Obviously, a big part of that for 4 years has been Jason Randall. Now with his last home game kind of in the past, he's fought a lot of adversity to kind of keep helping this team. What has he helped bring to this program that you've seen?
Jason is the poster boy for maturity through a program. You know, Jason was here when we came here. Not everybody bought in right away to what our plan was. And now, 4 years later, Jason's our poster boy. He really believes in the plan. He believes in his coaches. He's also had an adjustment because of 3 different position coaches while we were here. And the kid loves his teammates, does anything for his teammates. His work ethic is impeccable. And he's another young man, going back to the question of, is in here on Mondays studying video and doing all the little things to prepare himself.
And I know you don't talk about injuries, but obviously he's had some nagging issues, and I think that that's probably a credit to that hardworking spirit that he has shown through the last couple of years. Would you agree?
I'll agree that he has great heart, determination, and impeccable work ethic. That I'll agree with. Good try, though.
Talk a little bit about going up to this last game at Northern Iowa. I mean, Coach says nothing to lose, just go up there, play your last football game for the Bears. Just your mindset going up there.
I mean, that sounds like a broken record, but I feel like it's just like any other away game. I mean, the big thing, I want to just leave this program with a legacy, something they can build on. You know, we always talk about setting the foundation, and I want the younger guys to know that, like, what I brought to the table is, I mean, not much compared to what they can. You know, I want to make sure that I leave a footprint so they know, like, 5 years from now when they're winning a national championship, like, you know, this is part of the foundation that Marquis built. You know, so like, I think this game is just like any other game for, I mean, my senior season, really. So, I mean, I don't really look at it any different, but it's my last one, you know. So.
What are your thoughts going to be in the locker room before?
About the same. I try not to think too much. I did a lot of that my first year, so I try not to think too much. But after the game, I'll do a lot of thinking, I'm sure.
There you go. Just talk a little bit about blocking for Jason Randall, a guy that's been through a lot and up and downs and just kind of fighting through some stuff.
I mean, he's a heck of a running back. I mean, he's an athlete. I mean, I saw that my freshman year. He did some things I've never seen. I was amazed. So, I mean, like, it's I have confidence in Jason. I have confidence in all the running backs, but I have a bond with Jason. So, like, when I'm out there playing, I know he's in the backfield. I just have that sense in the back of my mind, if I do something wrong, he's going to make me right. You know, so, like, it's one of those things that, I mean, he's a stud. So, I mean, like, he's been battling injuries all season. So, I mean, like, he's been picking younger guys up, making sure the other running backs are hitting the right holes and everything. So, I mean, he's just one of those guys you want on your team, really.
Does he ever complain about any of that stuff, or does he just kind of lace up his pads and go out?
Nah, he goes with the punches, man. I mean, I've never once heard him say, like, "Oh man, my ankle's hurting. You know, I shouldn't be out here." Or nothing. He hurt his ankle and he was just like begging coach, "Hey, put me in." You know, so he's always been wanting to be out there in the front of it. You know, pass blocking, run blocking, running the ball, no matter what. You know, he's always ready to put his head in the game. So.
Marquis, after Saturday's game, Coach said that he's been seeing changes within the program, things that maybe we don't see on the outside. What are some things, as one of the team leaders, that you're seeing from this program over the last few years since you and Coach Stec and everybody who's involved now has been here?
Definitely just younger guys stepping up. I mean, I had a whole conversation with the whole team. I mean, a few weeks back, just telling them, like, hey, like, you know, it's cool that I'm a senior and all, but I want freshman, sophomore to be competing for my position. You know, and we've seen a lot of that. I mean, obviously, like, I've been playing, but next year I think that they're going to be in good hands because everybody has been trying to basically take each other's jobs. You know, so it went from everybody being complacent and saying, like, okay, these are ones and these are twos, you know, to people who are threes or fours saying, like, I want to be a starter. I'm taking this job. You know, I'm a walk-on, but I'm a walk-on freshman, but I'm still trying to take the starter senior's job. You know, that's something that's definitely changed in that entire mentality. I think Stec has really brought into the program.
You've been around enough to know about Northern Iowa. Tell me just about the relationship between the Bears and the Panthers, I mean, and to end the season in your career with them. And the ability to maybe keep them out of the playoffs.
I mean, I try to avoid all the bad blood between teams. I'm just kind of I play football, you know. But they definitely play hard against us. They play harder against us, I think, than they do a lot of teams, and I think we play harder against them. You know, I think it really comes with the territory. I mean, they're a heck of a football team, like I'm sure Stec said. So, like, we obviously want to knock them off at the same time. I think they're like, you know, like we're not getting knocked off. You know, they're a great group of guys from D-line to D-back, you know. So, I mean, everybody on that field is impressive, and I think that we just want to one-up them. You know, that's really what it comes down to.
You can keep them out of the playoffs with an upset.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure. Well, I don't really check records like that, but I've heard the talk. Yeah, we could. So.
You've seen some good defensive fronts over the last couple of weeks. What does Northern Iowa show, and what have you seen on tape, and how are you guys going to establish our running game here come Saturday?
They show a lot of 3-down front. They show some 4-down front too, but they just have a solid defensive front, between their defensive line and their linebackers. They're just solid all around, good fundamental players and just stud athletes, really. So I mean, it's like anybody in the conference, really. You come down to the the front seven, and they're just studs. So I think this just is a testament to the Valley, really, just what they are.
My
Thanks,
wife
man.
said to say hi to you.